The second part to this standard has to do with right triangle. It's just going to be a single right triangle that we're going to split into two smaller triangles. So you're going to end up with three right triangles. You're going to have this big original one, and then we're going to draw a line from the right angle, which is this one right here, down to there. And that's going to make a little triangle to the left, a little triangle to the right, and then the whole big ABC. But before I do that, let me just make up some numbers here. We know that's a 90-degree angle. Let's say this is a 60-degree angle. Then this one would have to be 30 because they have to add up to 180. It's a triangle. Triangles add up to 180. 1630 is 90 plus another 90. That's 180. All right. Now this line that we draw from B to AC can't just be anywhere we want it to be. It has to be the perpendicular to AC. So it's got to come straight down and hit at a right angle so that we make two more right triangles. We'll call that point X. So now we have three right triangles. We have ABX is a right triangle, CBX is a right triangle, and we still have our original ABC. So there's three triangles there, and they're all similar every single time. As long as this line that you draw is a right angle, they're all similar. Now how I'm going to explain that is use these numbers that I put in there. Let's look at the little triangle on the left here, the ABX. This is also a right angle. So if that's a right angle and that's 60, then this must be 30 because they have to add up to 180. And over here, this is a right angle and that's 30, so this must be 60. Another reason it must be 60 is that this was a right angle and we just split it into two parts, 30 and 60. You have to add up to 90. So we've got three triangles here that are 30, 60, 90 triangles. They all have a 30, a 60, and a 90-degree angle. The little one, 30, 60, 90. The middle one, 30, 60, 90. The whole big one that we originally had, 30, 60, 90. And remember, when the angles are congruent, the triangles are similar. So there you go. They're always similar. But what we have to do with that are write down the three similar triangles in the correct order. Now, technically, there is no correct order. This is kind of a reoccurring theme. It's however you write the first one, the next two have to match. So let's start with the big triangle. In fact, I'll erase that just to make this a little more clear. Let's start with the big triangle, and I'll just call it triangle ABC. Now I'll draw this down here, and now we've got two more triangles. We've got ABX and CBX. But I can tell you right now that I did not write these down in the correct order, and the order matters. When I say order, I mean the A, the B, and the X. One of them has to be first, one has to be second, one has to be third. There's only one correct way to write this set of three letters to label this small triangle, and it has to match the way you did the first one. So how did we do the first one? When it comes to order, look for the right angle. Which one of these three letters in our big triangle is the right angle? It's B. A, B, C, the big triangle, B was the right angle. So I'm going to draw a little R above that. That means in these next two, my right angle has to be the second letter. And what is the right angle in the two smaller triangles? In this little triangle over here, the right angle is at X. And in this medium-sized triangle, the right angle is also at X. So these two need to have X as the middle letter. So I'm just going to write down these letters over here so I don't forget them. So X has to be in the middle. Now we have to decide, does A come first or does B come first? Which one's which? Is it A, X, B, or is it B, X, A? Well, now is where it gets a little bit trickier. Which one is A? When you look at the original big triangle, A is what I would call the short side, meaning A is a lot closer to B than C is. I'm going to call these short and long for which one is the short side and which one is the long side. So A was the short side, C was the long side. So SRL is the order that I randomly picked my first triangle. All right, now we're doing the X, the A, and the B. That's this little one on the left. So we already determined that X was the right angle, so that's the middle one. So which one is the short one? Meaning which one of these sides in this little triangle here, which one of these sides is closest to X? Is it A or is it B? And it's a little bit hard to tell because they're kind of the same, but it'll be easier to tell on the test and on the do section. And in fact, A is the closer one. So A is the short side in this triangle. B is the one that's farther away. So it should be A, XB is short, right, long. Now it's a little easier to tell in this one. Which one is closest to X, which is the short side? B is. So this is B, X, C. So that's how you would write the second two triangles if you wrote ABC as your first one. Now let me do one more example of that. The first triangle doesn't matter, so I'm just going to pick XCB. XCB. XCB is what I will call triangle 2. So I'll say the medium one is 2, the little one is 1, and then the whole big original one is triangle 3. So I'm starting with triangle 2, and I'm going XCB. X in triangle 2 is the right angle. So the right angle is first in this one. C is the side that's farther away from X compared to B. So C is long, B is short. So we went right, long, short. Let's do the little triangle. X is the right angle, B is the long side, A is the short side. And then the whole big thing, B is the right angle, C would be the one farther away from B, A would be the one that's closer. So this side here, C comes next, and then A. So that's how you match it up. Like I say, the first one, you can write them down in any order you want on any of the three triangles. But in the do section, the first one's going to be given to you, and you got to match the second two. So whatever order that first triangle is given to you, write the other two in the same order, and you'll get a perfect score.